Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you for being here with me. It is good to be back. It's been a week. Where does the time go? So I'm so glad to be back with you. I am happy to present another upper body workout. I am still on some limitations with my leg. I did get my stitches out. Yay! But I'm still kind of sore and gross and gnarly and need to take it easy. So we'll be doing another upper body workout today. And with that being said, I want to get right to it because on the timer, it's like 59 minutes exactly. So don't want to take up too much of your time. Want to stay close to our hour and get a great workout in, not a lot of jibber jabber. All right, so what we're going to do is a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 workout. If you've worked out with me before, you'll be very familiar with this, but just a quick rundown for anybody that's new is we're going to work for 5 minutes, take a break, 4 minutes, break, 3 minutes break, 2 minutes break, 1 minute, and then a longer break before we go back to the top and do it all again. So that's how it works. The break gets a little bit shorter between each increment because the amount of work gets a little shorter. So it'll be like a minute break, 45 seconds, 30, 30, something like that. The timer will tell us. So that's how we're going to be working today. There's going to be a little bit of work on the floor, a little bit of work standing, but basically what I tried to do is make sure anything that we did in the floor, we were in the floor for the whole chunk of time. So even if it's not the whole 5 minutes, for instance, the first round, the middle 3 minutes are on the floor. We start and we end standing. So trying to make it where we're not too much up and down. One, just in general, I try to do that. And then two, because I need to be careful getting up and down out of the floor. So that being said, just a quick tip. I am not going to be hustling in and out of the floor. But, you know, when we work in these workouts, so the 5 minutes, that's 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. There's no break. So anytime you spend piddling around to get into the floor or up out of the floor to pick your weights is time you've lost in your work. So I only say that because I'm going to be taking my time, being careful. So don't wait for me. Go ahead and get started if you get into the floor a little bit faster than me or get back to standing a little faster than me. Okay, so don't meet my pace today. I'm going to be on the slower end. So all you're going to need is your full weight selection. So you want a light, medium, heavy. That's about 3 sets of weights if you have it. Or if you have a big variety, then maybe you want to experiment with some more variety. But in general, you're going to need a light, a medium, and a heavy set. And just something on the floor to make you comfortable, yoga mat, whatever that is, for the parts of the work that we do on the floor today. My just kind of normal stuff. Like I said, we'll be working with the timer. It's going to tell us what to do. So don't have to listen to cues from me as far as 1 minute's up, let's go. You're going to hear it go. It's going to coach us the whole way through, which is nice. So to kind of check out, just follow the timer. We're going to move quickly to try to get through 3 of these. And that's really about it. So just my normal kind of housekeeping stuff. Modify as needed. Upper body, there's all sorts of modifications available. Some things, just depending on what kind of injury you have, might just be a stay away, do something else for that minute, and that's okay. Stay away, do something else if you need to. I will be checking the video in between each 5 minute, 4 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. So if you have any questions about how to modify for the next time we get around to that exercise, just leave me a comment. I'll be happy to help you live here on the video, or if you're working out after the fact, you can of course comment or drop me a message and I'll be happy to help you that way too. Add music if you need it. No music here, just to make sure we don't lose any of our videos. And yeah. Share, like, subscribe, do all of those things to interact and get people interested in playing along with us here at Strong Style Fitness. It's always fun to see you guys interacting, saying hello, commenting, even if you're not working out. It's always just great to hear from you. And lastly, if you wish to donate any funds for these classes, Venmo at Strong Style Fit is where you'll find me. You'll see this delightful logo. You know it's me. And feel free to drop any donations there. It is the only payment I receive for these workouts. So anything you can give is greatly appreciated. All right, guys, so go ahead because we're not taking long breaks. A minute is the longest break that we'll potentially have, except for the break in between the full set once we get to the end of the 1. So go ahead, make sure you have all your weights close by and have your yoga mat ready because we are going to do some work on the floor in our first 5 minutes. So basically, you need to have yourself all set, ready to go, because once we start, we're in it and we're moving, okay? So get yourself all set up, make sure you're ready. I'm gonna grab a sip of water, check the video, and then we'll get going. All right, friends, so just a quick cue as where we're going for the first 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna hit the timer and we're gonna go. We're gonna do reverse fly. So we'll be here, reverse fly, squeeze in between those shoulder blades, little bend in our elbow. Then we're gonna go down to the floor. We're gonna go to tabletop, hands and knees, tabletop. And we're gonna row from hands and knees, left side. Go to our backs, dumbbell pullovers. And then we're gonna go back to hands and knees, row to the right, and then we're gonna do rear delt fly standing. If that's really awkward to go standing, floor, 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 standing, then we'll just move the other standing up to the top for the next round. We'll see how it goes. So you're gonna need all of your weights there, yoga mat, all set, ready to go. All right, guys, so I'm gonna step forward, I'm gonna hit start on the timer, and then we're just gonna get moving the second I hit start, okay? So I'm gonna step out of the camera and I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1. I'm hitting start. Let's work. 1 minute, reverse fly. So reverse fly, we're here. Shoulders back, big bend in those elbows. We open. It's a nice opener to kind of get started. You might even want to go a little lighter than normal just to make sure you're getting nice and warm before you jump into it. It's your call. It's how you're feeling today. I have not been able to work out very much except for upper body during the past week or so, or over 10 days now. So I'm a little lighter on my weight selection than normal. And also remember, a minute is a long time to work. If we're just doing like 8 to 12 reps, that takes less than a minute generally. Perfect. All right, so no break. Come right down to the floor. Again, I'm moving a little bit slower pace. So we're gonna come down to the floor into tabletop, hands and knees, and we're rowing. You want to make sure that you're keeping your shoulders facing the floor, that you're not rowing up like this, that you're staying down, pulling up, pulling up. We're using these big muscles along our back here. All right, dumbbell pullover. So we're gonna flip over to our back. And I only didn't put those back to back just to take some pressure out of our wrist, those rows. So we're here over our chest. We drop back, pull it over. Some people being on hands and knees can be uncomfortable to be on your knees for that long. So I thought I'd throw in the dumbbell pullover in the middle before we flip over and go back to hands and knees, just to give knees a break. 2 minutes on your knees can be a long time for some folks. So our first 5 minutes, I didn't even tell you our theme, the first 5 minutes is back body. So we're working upper body on the back half of our body. So there's a theme to each segment. All right, so we're coming back up, hands and knees. And now we're gonna row with our right. So we're working upper body, back half in this first 5 minutes. Elbow comes straight up past those ribs. Again, we're not starting a lawnmower here. We're not cranking open. Shoulder stays down, elbow comes straight back. Perfect. All right, come on up. And now we're going super light here. Rear delt row. Super duper lightweight. We bend over pretty far, almost like a 90. We bend, we've got our weights facing front, we open wide. Now we're hitting that high point between our shoulder blades. Now just make sure here that you're not squeezing through your neck. Keep that neck, the tops of those shoulders relaxed. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. There we go. First 5 minutes down. So we've got a minute break here. I'm going to pop around the video real quick since we don't have a lot of time, just to make sure we don't have any comments. And next set, 4 minutes, is going to be all biceps and triceps. All right, looks like we're looking good. So, all biceps and triceps. We're going to do 1 minute hammer curl, 1 minute overhead tricep, that's one heavy weight, 1 minute traditional bicep curl, 1 minute tricep extensions. So that's 2 minutes of bicep curls. Might want to think about, or at least have available, a lighter than normal set of weights for your bicep curls, okay? All right, so we start with that hammer. Seven, I don't know why I'm counting, we're doing timer. 8. It's actually a little experiment I was thinking in my head, I just ended up doing it out loud. 10, 11. So for a point of reference, we're at 12, that's about our normal. We have 20 seconds left. So keep that in mind, not only are we doing 2 sets, but we're doing 20 seconds longer-ish than we normally do. So, keep that in mind when you're making your bicep curl weight selection. All right, overhead tricep extension. So 1 heavy weight, up overhead, elbows come forward, we drop, we lift. We just did these seated last Tuesday, and I really liked that. I always feel like I have a little bit of rock in my tricep, my overhead tricep, even when I really, really try not to. Seated, took it all away. It's pretty awesome. Got 15 seconds here, and then we'll be back to biceps, doing a traditional bicep curl. Woo! Woo! All right, offload that weight as quickly and as safely as you can. And we go back to bicep curls now. I'm trying to do my normal weight for bicep curls. It's always worth trying the challenge, right? I never want you guys to think when I'm telling you, maybe consider having lighter weights available, that I'm telling you to take it easy. Just warning you of what to expect. but always try. I mean, the beauty is, right now I'm doing my normal weight. If it gets too heavy, I set it down, grab that lighter pair that's sitting right there. 10 seconds. And we're gonna tricep extensions or tricep kickbacks. Woo! All right, tricep kickbacks. Tricep kickbacks. Get a little bit of seat. Tuck that tail, don't stick your booty out. Come up, kick back, squeeze at the top. It's all about that little extra squeeze you get at the top of that extension. It's not tricep swings. You know, we don't want to be here, which I see a lot. Extend and squeeze. Squeeze. 15 seconds. Woo! Goodness. All right, 45 seconds. Got a little break. So next we're going to go into shoulders. So that was bicep triceps. First round was back body, upper body, and then we're doing shoulders. So we're gonna go overhead press, and then we're gonna do a front lateral combo, and then we're gonna do a Y, W. So the first set, overhead press, will be a little on the heavier end for most of us. It's not for you, that's okay. I'm just in general, overhead press is a little heavier. The next two exercises are gonna be on the lighter end, all right? All right, so you've got overhead press. Get yourself nice and steady, set up, load those weights up, and we press. Stop right about that shoulder height. You want your weight slightly ahead of your shoulders. So you don't want to be like where you stand between two panes of glass. You want your arms to be a little bit ahead out of those shoulders. And that just puts them in a safer position. Got 10 seconds. Woo. Whew. All right, so right to it, we got the front lateral raise. So this is going to be a lighter weight exercise. Down, we're coming out to the side and to the front. Now I want you to think about, we're not rotating, so it's not here. Shoulders stay square. Lifting out to the front, to the side. Shoulders stay square. After that overhead press, these might already feel pretty heavy. I was just thinking, I wish I had 7s or 8s. But I can tell you right now, these 5s feel pretty darn heavy. Make sure you keep that front raised shoulder plugged back into the socket. Don't let it roll forward. No computer slouches. All right, so we've got the Y, W. So another combination, shoulders back and down. We lift to a Y, down, W, down, Y. Whew. I know everybody's a little tired too with I've done what? This is my 4th upper body workout in 10 days? No, less than that, in a week. I didn't work out at all the first few days after my procedure because I was just like so worried someone who tends to always like squeeze my quads for no reason. And so I was so worried if I tried to work out at all, I would just be like in the danger zone. Woo! All right, so yeah, I didn't work out for the first couple days until last Tuesday. So yeah, 4 upper body workouts in 7 days. That's probably a little much, but whew, I can't not do it. I had to do something. And the weather's been so junky, we couldn't like go walk really. It's a bummer. I was really hoping to get some walking in at least. All right, guys, so we got 2 minutes of chest. That's gonna be down in the floor. So we're gonna do bench press, alternating bench press, alternating chest fly. So our first minute is gonna be alternating bench press. So we're on our backs, weights above our chest, and we bench. Good job, guys. We're under 10 seconds. Perfect. So now we're going to do alternating chest fly. I have weights in my way, so please feel free to go ahead and get started. All right. So we are here. We've got that little bend in our elbow. Open to one side, squeeze in. Open to the other. So we're keeping that bend in the elbow. Call it bear hug practice. You got your arms around someone and you're letting them go. We're not really getting to bear hug these days, so we gotta practice, right? So when the day comes that it's safe again, we are ready. All right, we got a short break here. We got just 30 seconds, and we're going to our last minute, and we're gonna hold plank for 1 minute. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Use a little bit of leg and plank, but not too much. So I'm just gonna be conscious. If I find that I am using too much leg, then I'm gonna come down to modified. All right, guys, get yourself nice and set up. We've got our hands shoulder width apart, big wide starfish fingers. We step back. Engage. Driving through those heels, core tucked up and in. Tight, tight, tight. Got our spine in alignment, head in line with that spine. If you need to modify, just drop your knees straight down. Now you're in modification. You don't want to come to tabletop like where we did those rows as your modification unless the traditional modification that I just showed you is too much. Then you go to tabletop if needed. Beautiful, guys. All right, round 1 is down. So we got a 2-minute break here. Catch your breath. If you had any bad setup issues like I did for your weights, now's a great time to take to rearrange them. Make sure you get them back how you need them. Here we go. So yeah, so you know what we're doing now. Nothing's changing. We're doing everything exactly the same. So no surprises. You know what you're doing. So let's see, can you start a minute? Can you start with, only lose about 5 seconds in your transition, something like that. Again, I'm moving a little slower, so my transition won't be quite so quick. But again, don't wait for me. You know where you're going. I'm still gonna coach, but you know what you're doing now. So don't sweat it, just start moving. Give those arms if you need to, a little stretch. Mine are feeling the fatigue already for sure. Again, I've definitely overworked my poor upper body the past week or so. All right, guys, I'm gonna catch some water. I'm gonna step off camera for just a bit to check for any comments, and then we're gonna get going. My goodness. I'll be curious too. Charlie and I have been talking about it with some of my clients. This weather, if you're in Tennessee, but really the weather's terrible everywhere, like just kind of achy joints, like everything's just a little crankier than normal. You know, like I just, like just sitting at my desk and like doing, you know, head rolls, and I'm like, oh, my neck, like what is going on? And Charlie said the same thing, like he never complains about his knees, and he said his knees have been bothering him. So I'm thinking, it's just gotta be the weather. It's got everybody cranky, old bones. All right, guys, we've got reverse fly. So we're here, open. So we want to move in this minute at that kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of pace. You don't want to move any faster than that. That being said, if these weights start to get heavy, but you're close to the end and you don't want to put them down, you can slow that rep down just a little bit. That's okay. I just don't want you being like, oh, I have a minute, and just like flying through it as fast as you can. But if you have to slow down a little bit to stay in that same weight selection, go for it. Now I'd say if you are about 10 seconds in, I already feel like you need to slow down, you probably want to drop your weight selection. But if you've got about 15 seconds left and you need to slow down, that's a good time to do it. All right, we've got that tabletop row. So we're coming down to hands and knees. Elbow comes straight back past those ribs. So we're thinking about those big muscles along your back to pull. We're not shrugging up through our shoulder. Pull back through that elbow. All right, we're going to flip it over. We've got dumbbell pullover. For most of us, that's a heavy weight, so be careful how you load that weight up. Got it over our chest. We drop back. Pull up. So again, we're using lats here. It's those big muscles down your back. Think about those muscles that give you that really nice hourglass figure. Or for men, that really nice cut in waist from shoulder blade to back to waist. That's the muscles that we're working here. Beautiful. All right. So unload that weight, however is safest for you. We're going to come up, and we've got that tabletop row, right side now. Now something you can do if you're like me, I have short limbs, so when I'm in tabletop, I don't have a ton of clearance off the ground. Something that I think would work would be to put like a yoga block under your hand over here, and that would give you some extra clearance so you're not bopping the floor like I am every time you come down. I don't have my yoga blocks in the room here with me, but that's something I would definitely try, is to put that yoga block under a hand. just to get a little extra elevation. If you're short-limbed like me, I'm all torso, which is funny because I don't think I have a particularly long torso either. All right, come on up. We've got our last one. Woo! We've got our rear delt fly, so that's going to be super lightweight. And we're going to bend over at the waist, long spine, open up. Again, trying to stay relaxed through that neck. If you cannot do this exercise without feeling your neck tense up, drop the weights and do it with no weights. All right, 1 minute break. So we've got our hammer curl, our overhead triceps, our bicep curl, our tricep extensions. So I'm going ahead, just kind of lining my weights up here for what I know I'm going to need. So we got just over 30 to 35 seconds. And catch your breath, get your weights set up, get some water. I'm going to stick my head around just for a split second. It looks like we're looking good. All right, let's go ahead and get yourself set. We've got 10 seconds. Hammer curls coming up first. Do. Good job, guys. I'm experimenting with a little lighter weight, my hammer curl, and then I'm going to go back to heavier weight for my other bicep curl, just to see. It's fun to experiment with the going lighter weight. I can get more focus on that squeeze up at the top, which is super important. You know, sometimes just because we can lift the weight doesn't mean that we're doing it to the best of our ability. Just because we're kind of muscle and gutting our way to the top with the weight versus can we really lift it and squeeze that muscle? It's two different things. So I like to experiment with that sometimes. All right, overhead tricep extension. So that heavy weight, bring it up, stagger stance, elbows forward. Good, guys, really focus on getting those elbows forward. We don't want to be out here. Bringing them in. For some of us, that's really tough. That's our goal. Just get those elbows forward. 15 seconds. Woo-wee. Getting heavy. Even lost my stagger stance there. All right, we've got our bicep curl, front facing grip. Ooh. Man, oh man. Whew, when a 1 minute gets so long. All right, we got 15 seconds. All right, overhead tricep extension. Tricep extensions, not overhead. So we're gonna sit back into our chair here, squeeze to the top. Good job, guys. Really focus. Squeeze it at the top. Don't just swing it back there. If you can't pause at the top for that squeeze, you need to lighten your weight a little bit. It's another one of those examples of muscling a weight up versus really lifting that weight. So just something to think about. All right, so we have got our overhead press coming up and front lateral raise, front lateral raise, and then our YW. So again, generally medium to heavy for your first exercise, and then light for your next two. We got 10 seconds. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and grab those weights. All right, load them up. Shoulders down and back, chest nice and proud. Put those weights up, we lift. Good work, guys. I know it's a lot. Especially upper body, we're working a lot of smaller muscles. When we work a lower body, boot camp, it's still hard. Those are big, big muscles made for a whole lot of load, When you just load up upper body like this, though, it's work they're not used to. 10 seconds. All right, front lateral raises. So guys, just pay attention on your front raise. Keep that shoulder back when you lift to the front. Don't roll it out to the front, okay? All right. Again, fight that urge to kind of twist and shout. Stay facing forward. Lift. Fifteen seconds. Five. Right, YWs, combination move, shoulders back and down, Y. So not Y up here by our head, Y, down, W. Y, W. Y, W. Good. Isn't it nice not to count? 2. I always say it after, especially during the week, you've been working all day, or juggling family all day, whatever it is, it's nice when you go to work out just to let something else keep up with everything for a while. All right, set those weights down. So we have got 23 seconds. We've got our alternating bench press and our alternating chest fly. So I'm gonna come on down. And just make sure that if you're using heavy weights, that you lay back with them safely. I definitely, bench press is generally a heavier weight exercise, but chest fly, not so much. So please be careful with your weight selection on the chest fly. I'm using the same, but normally I do a heavier bench press. I'm just trying to protect my shoulder. Since I've only got upper body to work these days, I'm trying to keep my angry shoulder a little less angry. So I'm going a little lighter for my chest work than normal. Alternating chest flies. We turn those weights in towards one another. Over our chest, plug those shoulders back, bend in the elbow. We open, squeeze up. Every single one is like an air pump, inflating my chest. Woo. That'll bring the sweat. Woo. I hope I'm not alone. Woo. All right. So we've got a 30-second break, and we've got our 1 minute plank. So guys, just remember, 1 minute plank, if that's really challenging for you, it's challenging. So, one, if it's really challenging for you, don't be offended or worried, but keep trying for the 1 minute. If you go from full plank to modified, if you're modified the whole time, modified to tabletop, whatever it is, just keep trying for 1 minute, okay? And that means you did a 1 minute plank. All right, so we're gonna load up and our hands, shoulders back and down. I'm gonna modify this round just to give my leg a break and make sure I don't overdo it. So I'll show you modification here. So everything's the same in modification. We're still pushing that floor away with those big, wide starfish hands. We've still got our head in line, so don't let your head drop down here. Head is in line with that spine. Core tight, belly up and in. Pushing that floor away. Don't collapse down into your shoulders. Push away. Good job, guys. This is such a great modification. It's really training you for coming up onto those toes and doing it the right way. All right, friends, round 2 is down. We've got 1 round left and we will be done. So it's going to be challenging. I'm sure if you are using the right weight selections, you are getting fatigued already. I know I am. I know I've been overdoing it upper body lately, but still, you're probably there if you're using the right weight selection. So just listen to your body. Make sure you continue to use the right weights, even if that means you have to drop the weight a little bit. Stay on top of your game. If you need to shorten, so if you're getting like 45 seconds, then either keep going, slow that pace down, you can drop weight, or if you're getting to like 45 seconds and you're like, I just might die, my arms won't move again, set the weights down, take a little extra break, all right? So you got lots of room to play with, lots of room to take care of yourself, but also push yourself. So if you're getting to the end of a minute, so let's flip the script. If you're getting to the end of a minute and you're like, I could keep going, up the weight game. Even if you can't do it for the whole round, up it and then drop it if you need to. I don't want you at the end of a minute being like, it was fine, no big deal. That's not the goal. We want to be tired, okay? All right, I'm gonna grab some water, take the video one last time, and we'll get going. All right, we got 20 seconds. So we've got that back body set, reverse fly, tabletop rows, pullovers, reverse rear delt flies, okay? So go ahead, plan accordingly, get those weights. We've got 5 seconds. All right, set it back, got those weights, little bear hug practice, we open. You know, even something else you can do, if you don't like any of the multitudes of options I've given you, is if the weights are getting really heavy, you don't want to put them down. Maybe you don't have another good weight option. Maybe your next option to go down is way too light. Maybe it's like 10 pounds difference. You can also alternate. So if it's getting really heavy, you don't have another option, you don't want to quit, you can go to alternating. Trust me, it's not a big break, it's still work, but it can ease the tension just a little bit. 10 seconds. One more. Awesome job. All right, down to the floor. That tabletop row. And again, I know mine are a little awkward. Maybe I could do this. I'm short-limbed, so I'm very close to the floor. There we go. If you're the same way, you can give yourself a little prop. You could use another dumbbell. You could use a yoga block. I think that'd probably be the most comfortable to elevate yourself, so you've got a little room away from the floor. You long limb people won't know what I'm talking about, but my other short limb friends, they'll get it. All right, got our dumbbell pullovers. Heavy weight. I set mine in a completely inconvenient place. Tap that floor, pull it over. You guys, make sure you're leaving a little bit of bend in elbows here. Never, never, never want a big, heavy weight and locked out elbows. In fact, we really never want locked out elbows in general, but definitely not when we're swinging a big, heavy weight. All right, offload that weight. We're gonna come up, and we've got rows on the other side. Scraping that elbow up past those ribs. We're not shrugging our shoulder, we're leading, pulling through that elbow. Good core work here too. Probably feeling it. All right, bring it up. With that rear delt fly. Light weights here. Remember, if any weight you use causes your neck to fire up in this exercise, just put the weights down. Move your arms. Most of us stay so tense in our neck and our shoulders that anytime we try to work up high in our shoulders, our neck and our traps are just like, hey, 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 let me do it. So you really got to make it light sometimes for your other muscles to be able to take over. All right, that's our break. Woo! So we've got our bicep tricep set coming up. We've got hammer curls, overhead tricep, traditional curl, tricep extensions. Trying to see, oh yeah. It's like, can I get rid of any of my weights? No. Nope, not yet. All right guys, I'm gonna pop my head around, just make sure nobody's needing help, and we will get started in 30 seconds. Perfect. Man, oh man. I hope you guys are getting some good work in. I am definitely feeling it. I love upper body work. It's one of those things, as a female, you know, we are told, and unfortunately it's kind of true, that men just naturally can build upper body muscles more than us, more easily than us, upper body strength. It pisses me off. So I'm like, I'm going to build the best arms I can. Still have a long way to go, but I love trying. I love the work. I've always been one to want to prove people wrong. Good job, guys. And those weights are feeling like bricks at this point. Cinder blocks. We're under 10 seconds. Whew. All right, grab that heavy weight. We got that overhead tricep extension. And give yourself a little test. Try to switch hands. So whatever hand is normally your hand closest to the weight, when you gobble it like this, try switching grips. It might feel really different. Seconds. Elbows pointing forward, not out to the sides. Woo. All right, set that weight down, down, down. We've got bicep curls, traditional grip. Hang in there, guys. We are so close. We've only got 11 total minutes left, and that's including breaks. Seconds. Whew. All right, tricep kickbacks. Whew. Come on, triceps, we can do this. All right, set it back. Make sure you're tucking that tail down. Don't stick that booty out behind you. Tuck it down. Extend. You can definitely tell my kickbacks aren't as high as they were when class started. Squeeze it at the top. Extra little pause. Whew. I know it's getting harder to do. 10 seconds. One more. Oh, oh, my. No, still need these weights. All right, guys. We are in the home stretch. We've got the 3, the 2, the 1, and that's it. We've got our overhead press, front lateral raise, YW. You can totally do it, guys. You got this. Woo. Shake those arms out. Give them a stretch. Give them a little pep talk. Give them a little gun showcase. Wore my Avengers superhero shirt to remind myself to be a badass. All right, guys. Overhead press. Whew. Whew. Remember, we've got those arms a little out ahead of our shoulders. We don't want to be straight out of our shoulders. Our shoulders are very sensitive little things. To be straight out of our shoulders, very compromising. Which I didn't learn for a long time, which is I think why I have some of the shoulder problems that I do, is I always worked directly out of my shoulders. 10 seconds. Woo. All right. Set these off to the side real quick. All right, we've got our lateral front raise. Try to stop right about that shoulder height. It's so hard without a mirror. We always feel like we're stopping at the right height. It's almost always too high. Good, guys, 15 seconds. Keeping those shoulders plugged back and down. Chest facing forward. All right, YWs. Woo! 5 pounds. Woo. Hang tough, guys. We are in the last little bit. Whatever you got to do to get it through. If you got to take a couple extra breaks, if you got to drop your weights, whatever you got to do. And then I'm telling you again, if you're at this point of the workout and you feel fine, not very tired at all, you need to reassess the weights that you're using and the level that you're working at. Good job, guys. We are in our 2-minute and our 1 minute. So our next set's down to the floor. So hear me out. I'm not trying to tell you that I want you to feel like you're dead, like you've hurt yourself, like you couldn't lift a spoon to your mouth, even though sometimes I feel that way, but you don't, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that if you get to the end of your workout and you're like, I mean, that was good, but you got to ask yourself, are you pushing yourself as hard as you can? It's, you know, I think sometimes people do not push themselves hard enough. And so when they take classes, they're like, oh, that class was easy. But if you look around the room, everybody else is rolling on the floor, sweat dripping. You know, classes can offer you a lot, but you've got to take some responsibility for how hard you push yourself, for the weight selection you use, and for the technique that you're using. So, I don't say that to take all the onus off of myself as an instructor or personal trainer, but as a participant, you have to take some responsibility. So always make sure that you are pushing yourself as hard as you can. You're going to get what you put into it. And I definitely understand, chest flex, that some days you just need to take it a little easier than others. And that is totally acceptable. But that's someday, not every day. Whew. My chest muscles are screaming. Boom. All right, guys, set those weights down. We've got 1 minute plank, and that is it. We will be done. So I hope you're hearing my message and understand what I'm trying to tell you. You know, it's not that you need to be suffering and dying at the end of every class, but you also shouldn't walk away being like, that was good. I'd do that again. You know, there's a fine line there. All right, guys, we're going to set up that plank. I'm going to be working a modification just to protect my leg. So I'm going to push that floor away. Big, wide, starfish fingers. Push it away. I'm going to hold plank for a split second, drop my knees straight down. Now I know I'm in the perfect modification. So from here, I make sure my fingers are wide. I push away. My core in. Not sucked in, but tight. Up and in is how I like to think. Nice long spine, pushing away. Head in alignment with that spine. We don't want to keep our head dropped like this. We want to look slightly out in front. Make sure we're not collapsing into those shoulders. Stay strong, push it away. Good job, friends. So close, hang tight wherever you're at. Yes! Woo! And we have made it. 3 trips through the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I hope you're feeling, let's call it sweet fatigue, right? So again, to the point I was making, not death and dying, not I'll never be able to use my arms again, but yeah, I don't want to use them right now. That's kind of a good way to explain it. Like, I would hope I don't have to go pick up a kid right now or something, you know? So that's where you want to be. That's kind of your perfect sweet spot right there. So again, if you're not getting there, just ask yourself, what am I doing? Am I pushing myself hard enough? Am I using the right weights? And if you just don't know, get with a personal trainer. It doesn't even have to be me. Just get with someone to help you evaluate where you need to be so you get the most out of every workout. That's all I'm encouraging, is that you get the most you can so you can get back what you put in. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. It was great to be back with you. I hope to be back on my normal schedule. I'm going to keep evaluating what's happening here, but I do plan to be here with you on Saturday. If anything changes, of course, I'll let you know, but I do plan to be here. May still be, I don't think we'll go all upper body, but might still be a little leg light just to be safe. But I plan to be here. I can't wait to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please share, subscribe, like, do all of those things that help get our message out, help get more friends working out with us so I can continue to provide these great workouts for you. It's speaking of continuing, it would definitely help me on my journey if you could please donate some funds for these classes. It is the only payment I receive. Venmo at Strong Style Fit is where you'll find me. Anything you can give is greatly appreciated. Otherwise, I appreciate you, regardless of what you can give. So thank you so much for being here with me. I will see you soon. You guys take care. Mwah.